All right, so just going to go over the new leader conference key takeaways. Um, so Melanie Mitro spoke, and she's of course the top coach for the second year in a row. So when she spoke, I was, totally alert, totally listening to every word that came out of her mouth. And I especially love her. I don't know if this will appeal to any of you. But she's a blogger, so she had a lot of good insight on how to plan her months around her blog posts and how to incorporate her blog posts in with her Facebook posts. So if you're a blogger, you should definitely follow Melanie and definitely watch her video from the New Leader Conference. Is that the one that you watched, Junalee?
Mm-hmm.
You did watch Melanie's? Wasn't that the theme of the month? Wasn't that like amazing?
I was like trying, I have to listen to it again because she gave so many good examples and I was like, wait, I can't.
I know, I'm so excited about that. So that's definitely one of my implementations that I need to do. But so the first thing that stuck out to me when she was talking is something that I've been trying to do, is stop trying to appeal to everyone. It's like you're either in this desperate mode and you're casting a net and you're just trying to collect as many fish as possible. But if you use cheap, I think she said this, or actually it was Michelle Myers who spoke before her, said if you use cheap bait, you'll never get the best fish. And that like struck me like, duh. Because if we keep putting stuff out there, and it's not to say that we can't talk about that this is financial freedom, that this is a company that, if you build it, if you work hard, you can create that sort of freedom for yourself. But if that's our bait, for lack of a better word, then that's what people are going to sign up for, and that's what they're going to need to keep them there. Whatever somebody signs up for is what they're going to stick around for. And you and I both know that, like, the money doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen very quickly for a lot of people. So if the only reason that they're signing up is for the money, then chances are they're going to be leaving because of the lack of money immediately. So I just thought that was like super important to think about. Think of who you were. Oh, this really struck me. Think of who you were before someone believed in you. And that just struck me in a way that, like, am I giving enough am I believing out loud enough at my coaches? Like, I talk to people all the time who are prospects who are about to become coaches, and I believe so strongly in what they could be capable of, but it's almost like they become, coaches on the team. And not that I leave them or I stop believing them, because I certainly don't. I get so impressed by every little like milestone that you guys accomplish, but it's almost like I don't spend enough time like pouring my belief into you guys. And I was thinking about it, and when somebody did that for me, it totally changed my business. Like last year when I was super socially anxious, Andrea took the time to like send me a message that she had about me to Brandy Botts, who was somebody who I really looked up to because she was super socially anxious. And just like a few different little things along the way that Andrea like did for me totally made me change my entire life. And I'm thinking, I want to make sure that I'm doing that for my coaches. I want to make sure that I'm feeding into them everything that I'm thinking about them, but I'm not making the time to do. So that was something that struck me like more in my heart, more on a personal level, like check yourself, little conviction there. So then number 2, that was all number 1, just lumped together. Number 2, be your own leader. The fact is, when you do it the first time, you're not going to do it as well as your mentor. You're not going to do it as well as the person who did it before you. And that's fine. But what you're doing is you're building credibility for yourself. Because when you show up and you do like those, what is coaching webinars, even if there's nobody on the line, you have this recorded version of yourself when you first started of how maybe terrible you were on that call. And then as you get better, obviously you give the better videos out, but then your team comes around and they're afraid to do it. And you can be like, look, here's the video that I did the first time. I wasn't any good at it, but here's what I did, and it inspires them to do it. Because the fact is, if there's something that you're afraid of, you will pass that fear on to your team. If there's something you're not willing to do, your team's not going to be willing to do it. What you are as a leader is what your team is going to aspire to be. So take initiative, reflect on your successes, and speak about yourself in a way that exudes confidence. When I used to post, I used to be like, well, I don't know an example of how I used to post, but I know recently, as I post about the business, about people joining my team, I'm like, I can help you. I can train you. I can give you the tools. I will be here. And I didn't used to speak that strongly about myself because I was so scared. Like, what if they sign up and I fail? What if they sign up and they fail and then I feel like I've failed them because I overpromised? But another thing that somebody said that kind of brings me back around to this is that you can say the wrong thing to the right person and they will still succeed. And you can say the right thing to the wrong person and they'll go away no matter what. It's not really about you. As long as you're showing up and you're being there for them and you're supporting and encouraging and doing the best that you can do and showing by example, leading by example, that's your role in this. It's up to everybody else to succeed for themselves. Your role is to encourage, support, point them in the right direction, be there for them. So that kind of takes the pressure off. And it also just helps you to see either some people are going to succeed and some people aren't. Don't worry so much about being perfect, about always having the right thing to say. It's mostly just about showing up and being a friend to somebody. So I closed my notebook. Number 3 was a quote I wanted to read, which I actually think is a quote that I just said, if my memory serves me. Did anybody even say that? Yeah, that's the quote I just said. So that was number 3. I told you I was scattered today. Number 4 was, you will only ever build a solid foundation if you recruit coaches with vision and purpose. That kind of just takes me back to what we were talking about with the cheap bait and the money thing. When I talk to prospects, when I'm talking to people who are interested in coaching, I like to pick their brain a little bit about who they used to be before they were a mom, because a lot of people I talk to are mothers. So I pick their brain about who they were before they were a mom. What did they used to like to do? Maybe they're a stay-at-home mom, but they used to work. So I talk about that. What did you like about your work? It gets things moving and it gets things flowing in a direction where eventually they're like, either they'll say, I don't know what I like anymore. I don't know what I do for fun. I used to love having, a reason to get dressed when I went to work, and now I don't even get dressed anymore. Little tidbits and things like that, well, coaching is not going to help you get dressed in the morning. I can vouch for that, but those little tidbits open up to a deeper sort of pain that people are harboring. And once you can find the pain point in somebody, you can find their purpose. And you can find their why and their reason why they're going to show up every day for this business. Because it's never really about the money. It's never really just about the weight. It's what that money or what that weight is inhibiting them from doing, or what lack of work is inhibiting from them, whether it's self-esteem, confidence, something like that. So try to, when you're talking to your prospects, rather than just accepting their first answer, I want to make money, I want to be able to stay home, keep asking them why. Keep digging deeper and finding that true pain point that's going to drive them through, the challenges in this business. So this is for my coaches who are thinking of Premier and Elite. Just a little 4 times 4 numbers to remember. 4 times 4. Sign 4 coaches a month. Help 4 coaches a month get to Success Club 5. If you can do that consistently, you should be building the points that you need to hit Elite at the end of the year. And that's just something to keep in mind as you work towards that. Don't get stressed out if you didn't have 4 and 4 in January. Obviously, you can have 8 and 10 one month. it adds up over time. It's cumulative. However you say that word. And then another thing in terms of elite and premier and keeping that momentum going, plan your year, like look at your year and plan for the inevitable valleys, because we all know there's valleys in this business. We know that August, for some reason, whether it's, people going back to school, they don't care about their summer bodies as much anymore. That's a pit in our business. That's one of the slower months. So is November and December. I mean, things slow down in those months. So if we look at the year in advance and we plan accordingly, we can have things in motion for our teams so that when those things happen, we've already got ideas to keep their momentum going, to keep them inspired and encouraged. So I think actually as a team, in our Emerald Elite group, we could start looking at the whole year and like brainstorming. I just added you, Amanda and Junalee, to the Emerald Elite group. I don't know if you noticed, and you'll get there soon, Brittany. But those are the types of things I would like to be talking about in that group, and those are the types of things that we need to be looking at as we build our teams, which would really help me since I didn't make Success Club in August or November last year. So now I need to start looking at my years and planning accordingly. So that's not okay. So number 6, these are so sporadic, guys. Sorry. I mean, these are just notes from a ton of different speakers, so they don't really go together. Number 6 was just about kind of recruiting. And it's just like a silly question, but it's one that I wonder why we don't think about more when we're afraid to invite or we're afraid to ask people about this business. It's like, you were recruited. If you're a coach on this team, you were recruited. Are you happy to be on the team? Like, do you feel shysted in any way? Do you feel manipulated? Do you feel like you were forced or made to join the team? I would hope that your answer is no. I hope that you're happy that you're on the team. So then it begs the question, why are we so afraid to invite other people to join this team? We love this team. We love what we're doing every day. We love being a part of this community. So why are we holding other people's destinies in our mouths because we're afraid to ask them? It just doesn't make sense. I thought that was a great question to ask yourself. And then to go along with that, don't be afraid to say what kind of player you're looking for. When you make your post, I used to make my recruiting posts or my call to action posts more like for everybody. Like anybody and everybody, join my team, accept everybody, whatever. But it's gotten to the point now where I'm like, I am looking for somebody who wants to change. I'm looking for somebody who's willing to do the work. I'm looking for somebody who will make sacrifices. And I'm not afraid to say that now, because not that I don't want to waste my time, but I want to recruit for success. I want to recruit for my success, and I want to recruit for my team's success. And my coaches that I'm recruiting, I want them to succeed. So rather than recruiting for just, to have numbers on your team, you get to a certain level when you reach diamond and above where you need to start looking at what kind of team do I want. And then think about it in terms of like having coworkers. You don't want a coworker who's going to slack, that's going to make more work for you because you have to pick up the slack. If you got to pick your coworkers, you would be very specific about who you wanted to work with. You wouldn't just say anybody and everybody, come work beside me, because you'd end up doing more work for other people if you recruited the wrong sort of people. And I think in your business, well, everybody comes at different stages in their life, and some people need more, encouragement, more help, more one-on-one time. Some people will take longer, that's fine, but just think about the type of person, the potential that you see in that person. Like I was talking to Candace earlier on the group chat. I don't know if you guys saw. Don't waste your time on somebody who you don't even want to work with. I've done that before. I've been talking to somebody and I'm like, I don't even really like this person. Why am I wasting my time? And that might make me sound mean, but not everybody's your cup of tea. So that's
when Candace asked that, I said, more people have kids than don't. I don't, but I'm like, I can't just pick people that don't have kids. I'm like, you can be selective, but like, don't just say, oh, like be that strict. Like just,
yeah.
I tried saying it like that, but like I had one group who, do you know Nicholas Hill? He's in Hawaii. Well, he's a Beachbody coach, and I did like this challenge thing in his group, and he was like so open, even though he's not my coach or whatever. He was like, oh my God, we'd love to have you. And like, he was awesome. But then another girl who was a Beachbody coach, I was like, yeah, I showed interest in wanting to be in one of her groups. And she was like, no, like I only pick people that are under me or something, like, because you're my coach, she wouldn't let me be a part of her group. And Nick goes, we're a community. Like we should all stick together and like unite. And it was like sad that.
That was a good perspective.
Yeah.
Well,
so
I've done that before.
Like that. Yeah.
I've not wanted, but then when you think about it like that, that's so true. What a good person Nick is.
What?
So what a good person Nick is.
He is.
Aww.
He's so nice. We shared like recipes and stuff, and then I was doing line drills at the school, just running layups and stuff. And my fiance recorded me, and I posted it to the group, and everyone's like, "Yeah!" Like it was just so nice. It's good to like get confidence in smaller groups, and then I'm gonna branch out.
Yeah.
From there, but
well, that's exciting. Yeah. I'm so glad you're like branching out and like taking initiative and finding your little cliques.
I met a lot more people. Like you become friends with a lot more, and you build your fan base. So
yeah,
that's good.
That is awesome.
Sorry, keep going.
Don't be sorry. Let me see. Oh, and one last thing with sorry guys. One last thing with the recruiting and saying who you want. If you want to advance in your business, are you doing what you would need your coaches to be doing in order for you to advance? Because you know that your rank advance depends on your team. It depends on how your coaches are working, which largely depends on how you're leading, but also how are your coaches working. If you're not doing the activities that you need for them to be doing, why would they do it? You know, and that's just something to ask yourself. And, you know, because I see a lot of leaders who get caught up in like, my team is not doing this, my team is lacking here, my team is doing, and then it's like, are they following their leader? Is their leader just like waiting for them to pick up the slack and to do it? Because they're only going to do what they see being done or what they're led to do. So, and then like the final question with that is, would you want you on your team? And that's like a real gut check some days for me. I know that's true. So that's just something to think about every day when you sit down to work. Like, would you want you on your team? Number 7, I just thought this was a really cool way to look at leadership. I think Bonnie said it. She said, leadership is you being brave enough to make mistakes before your coaches do, so that you can make it possible and simpler for them. And if you look at leadership, a lot of people look at like, I can't be a leader because I don't know all the answers, or I don't know what I'm doing yet. I don't know, what if I get asked a question that I don't know the answer to? And the fact is, you just have to be willing to put yourself out there and make those mistakes first, because we all know that it's about failing forward. It's about making mistakes. You're going to make hundreds, if not thousands of mistakes in this business over the course of your career. That's just the fact. Failing is a part of success. It's a prerequisite to success. Nobody ever succeeds without having failed prior to. So when you think of yourself in terms of leadership, are you putting yourself out there? Are you doing the things that may potentially, fail, that may potentially not be great ideas, but you're trying them because you're trying to make things easier for your team? That's what it's all about. And then number 8 was really just something I wanted you guys to think about and mull over. There were 86 elite coaches at the New Leaders Conference. And you're only invited to the New Leaders Conference once. So you have to be 2-star Premier, you have to be 5-star Elite, or 3-star, 4-star Premier, or you have to be 2-star with like 20 Elite points. Those are the qualifications. You have to at least be 2-star to be invited to the New Leader Conference. So having 86 Elite coaches, having 86 coaches who are 5-star and above tells me that in 1 year, 86 coaches went from 1-star or under to 5-star Elite. That means that anything is possible. No matter where you are today, you can end the year 5-star Elite. And that is true for every single person on this call, for every single person watching this call. You can do whatever you put your mind to. So don't feel like that, the New Leaders Conference is out of realm for you, or that Elite is out of possibility. Anything is possible. And I think that just kind of proves it. Oh, and then one last thing that I thought was a really good quote is, good is the enemy of great. As soon as you settle for being good, you're never going to reach your greatest potential. So don't settle for good. Oh, hi, Casey. You came just at the very end.
I'm so sorry. I've been chatting with like 3 people and I totally spaced.
No, don't worry about it. I actually recorded it. It's actually recording now. So everybody can see how late you are to this call.
Okay. Sorry. I'm in the middle of process of signing 3 coaches, so.
Yeah. Good job.
Yay.
But anyway, so those were my takeaways. Does anybody have anything they want to further elaborate on, or anything that popped into their heads as I was talking, or questions? I don't know. Anything?
Yeah, I liked how you said if you're not doing the activities that you should be doing, then why would they think that they need to do it? Anyone that you want to try to inspire. And one of our smaller groups that we have, it's I feel like I've told you this before. I either eat good or exercise, and never both at the same time. Well, I've kind of fallen off, and I need it's time to get back on. So my one friend posted, my sister was like, "How's the Beachbody going?" Because my mom and sister had ordered things and have been doing the workouts. And then my best friend posted her doing those, the push-ups where you have to kind of step and in the max 30. Do you guys know those?
I didn't do max 30.
Yeah, oh, she's really strong in her upper body. She does gymnastics and stuff, and I'm stronger in my legs. So when she posted that, I admitted that's my weakest part, but instead of modifying, I just do as many as I can the regular way and then drop to plank and back up. I never stop. And everyone's like, that's so helpful. I always feel like I have to do it, and I feel like I fail if I need to take a break. And she kind of held me accountable, because she goes, "Brittany, you wanted to start this group to hold you accountable for the wedding and getting fit. And you do post, but it's not every day, which whatever. But when she posts, it makes me feel like I don't want to fail. She keeps me in check. So I don't know.
Is that the challenge group that you're running?
Yeah, it's a new, you hear this all the time, new year, new you. But I started it back around the holiday, right after holidays.
Yeah, I think I remember.
And we've been sharing recipes and just different workouts. There's some moms on there, and she's like, I can't really get a workout in, but she's constantly sledding, climbing hills, doing things with her kids, those workouts.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of cool to see the moms and how they get their workouts in, and it doesn't have to be a video, as long as they're doing something, and it was nice.
Yeah. But that is that it goes along with ourselves as leaders for our teams, but it goes along with ourselves as being a product of the product for our customers. Why would a customer want to sign up with our products if we're not using them, if they're not
exactly
working for us, or we're not working them?
And 2 of the girls in my group, one's a close friend, the other one's gonna be my sister-in-law, they ordered because Amy and I we're all doing it and stuff, and showing our shakes or whatever, and they're like, we want to order. One got the 21-day fix. The other one was getting a different package. But
That's
like
awesome.
going through it all. Yeah, so it was cool just to see like they were inspired and they were like, I'm going to order it. One's trying to lose baby weight and
Yeah.
the other one's heard of another success story from an aunt and she's like, I want to do this.
That's how it works, sister.
Yeah. So I get the volume, but now I need another coach.
Yeah, you do.
I was on the coach online thing looking at my legs and all that in like the Success Club or whatever. But I'm like, remember how I messaged you why it was like going inactive?
Oh.
I just ordered something and people ordered below me. So I called and
got that straightened out.
got that straightened out, yeah.
Yeah. Very good. You're so awesome, Brittany.
Got my first paycheck. It was a few weeks ago. We happened to check the mail and I was like, what is this? And I opened it. I was like, oh my gosh, like $47.50 because I have to get the direct deposit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so first check.
Awesome.
I'm like, that really like inspires me to like keep.
Yeah.
You know?
That's awesome.
Thanks.
You're so cute. Okay. Well, if anybody else doesn't have any thoughts on what we covered, I know it was really sporadic and it kind of bounced around, jumped all over, but watch those calls. Go on YouTube and type in New Leader Conference 2016. There's a bunch of calls. Melanie does 2 of them, or not calls,
Videos.
whatever. She's on stage. Melanie does 2 of them. Bonnie does 1. Michelle Myers, I thought hers was really, really good. And of course, Carl was up there. So there's a lot of really good, and they're shorter. They're like 30 minutes or less. So do yourselves a favor and go listen to them, and then we will brainstorm either in FFC or in Emerald.
Okay.
And yeah, I guess that's it.
Thank you.
Thanks for jumping on, guys. It was good to see you guys again.
Good to see you.
All right, we'll talk later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.